Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Chick Chat Comedy Podcast. We're having technical difficulties like you can't even believe. We're trying to do this live from the comic strip, but the Wi-Fi isn't working for some bizarre reason. So, okay, yes, thank you, darling. All right, and Dave Attell is going to be here. I can't even believe that he agreed to do it, but he is late. Dave Attell is running late. I am Patty Rossborough. I am here with the beautiful, the talented, the very sexual Carie.
She's like, every time you add another thing on, I'm like, she forgot my name. She forgot my name.
No, I know. Carie Carabas.
Thank you, Patty.
And
how are you?
I'm very good. We're here with Adam Hineker, our producer / sound man, trying to figure out what the hell happened. But anyway.
So here's the thing. We're in a very little room.
Yes.
And we're not getting Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So, unfortunately...
We would get it in the afternoon, but at night, since we switched to nights, the Wi-Fi doesn't work nights for some reason. So.
Oh.
So anyway, Carie, while we're waiting for Dave Attell to get here, we're just starting. Carie, how are you? How was your week, sweetheart?
I'm fine. How was my week? Looking back now, not as bad as some people's week.
What is that supposed
to
mean?
People got killed yesterday.
Oh, that was horrible. Oh, yeah.
That was sick.
It's horrible. I know.
I mean, you're at a concert, country western music, which I wouldn't be caught dead. No,
all right, I too. I love country western.
No, but I mean, I'm not a country girl, but that was horrific.
Yeah.
You're watching it and you're like, your heart is going out.
Yeah.
Like I could.
No, you think you're just gonna have a nice night out, and then some crazy person. They go, he's evil. I don't know if he's evil or if he's just mentally ill.
He's crazy.
I think they're mentally ill. When people go, this is an act of evil, certain times there's acts of evil, but I think this guy was just like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I think he was crazy. I think he was a criminal. He had 1970. He was on the 10 most wanted.
No, that was his father. His father.
Oh.
He was not a criminal. He has no record, zero.
Well, it runs in the family.
His father was a criminal.
Oh, well, I read that he was on the top 10 most wanted for 10 years.
That's like Facebook news.
Well, I don't.
You got to watch a real news show.
I only go on Facebook, Patty. If I have to read a real newspaper like the Times or something, I'm lost.
Okay.
There are big words in those papers.
Yes, of course.
I don't have those.
And have you sold your damn restaurant yet, or what's going on?
Well, here's the thing. Here's how my week went. I lost a couple of friends this week. Because they called me a racist.
Oh, yeah. You posted online.
I went postal.
Okay. Now, you disagreed with them taking the knee. Is this the problem?
No.
What's the problem?
I'm not worried about the knee thing. My kitchen staff didn't fucking show up on Sunday, so I was by myself. One guy walked out, and the other guy never showed up. So, I mean, I get it. Americans don't want to work, but now the Spanish, the illegals don't want to work. And I figured out why, because they're all my guys are telling me how they don't marry their wives. They have 3 or 4 kids. The government gives them subsidized housing, food stamps, the whole 9. They got the memo. They get how to manipulate the system. So I went on a rampage because I had nobody in the kitchen to help me. And, it's getting busier and busier. And I'm like, the fucking guy just walked out on me because he doesn't need the money. Well, I wouldn't need the money either if I was getting food stamps. And if somebody was paying my rent, I wouldn't need the money either. Now, they said, oh, you're racist. I'm not racist. I'm real. I am telling it like it is. Everyone's scamming the system. When my father jumped ship,
yes,
he jumped ship
from Greece,
and he started working. And he spoke English. He learned how to speak English. He also didn't take any food handouts or any kind of handouts. Okay?
Okay, but
when I go to the emergency room now, I got to wait. If I got a knife sticking out of my head, I got to wait like 9 hours because there's 900 illegals bringing their kids in there for a fever.
All right.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
I'm not racist.
Okay, there are people who work the system. There are people who come from other countries who work the system. And yet, there are people who need to come here because of complete abject poverty.
I get it. I understand. Come here for that reason. I'm all for you coming here. But stop the bullshit.
But sometimes their kids, it's not the kids' fault that the parents aren't working.
My main woman,
yes.
Norma.
Yes.
Norma is this big.
Okay.
She goes to me no coming, no work, no more. And I go, why, Norma? Why? I mean, I get you like a big family. I get it. I have 2 kids. They know the shit out of me. I can possibly want to do it again. But maybe her kids aren't annoying. But you got to stop at some point now.
I mean, culturally,
I needed her. She was my prep cook. Now she's pregnant.
I can't believe
she's pregnant.
I can't believe that you had to send out, what was it, like 30 falafels the other day or whatever the hell it was. Were they falafels?
Oh, and then she went, no.
Oh, that's
30.
That's
I walked
Middle
in.
Eastern.
Now I have no kitchen staff. I walk in, they go, 30 gyros. I go, very funny, Samara. And she goes, no, really? You have an order for 30 gyros. It was like Murphy's Law, I had no fucking staff, not one onion cut, not one. I go, call him back and tell him to go fuck himself. I can't do it. And she goes, I can't. I didn't get the number because that's how great my fucking waitstaff is.
How can you not get the number?
She never got the number, and she took his credit card, so he already paid for it. And he wanted it by 11 o'clock. It was 10:30. I go, guess what?
Oh, my God.
So now...
That's a gyro a minute.
Yeah, it's impossible. So now another order comes in with like a $180 order for an office, and then 2 people sat down, and another guy sat down. I go, shut the front door. Shut the front door and don't answer the phones. And the phones are ringing and ringing. I go, take them off the hook. Take the phones off the hook.
Oh my God.
Put a sign up saying, we are out of power in the kitchen and go fuck yourselves. So now I'm back on Facebook and I'm ranting all the time. But I just, I know you want to type good things and say how great the world's going to be, but it's not. We're in a fucked up world. People are sick in the head. They're going crazy. And then whatever.
All right. I think a minority of people are going crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think most people got their shit together, don't they? Adam? No?
So,
Come on,
little
Adam.
millennials?
10%.
The millennials are gone. They're
Millennials
gone.
Are all fucked.
They're all fucked and they're gone. They're clueless. They're living in a fairy tale book.
What do you mean by that? Why you say that?
Oh, Dave's here, by the way.
I know.
David Tells you?
Right here.
Or is he
I
looking
love
for us?
Attell.
He
He's
doesn't know how to get
coming.
here.
He's coming.
He's here.
I'm so excited because I love David Tell.
Now, you know David Tell. I don't know him that well.
Oh, I know him very well. Well, not very, very well, but well enough.
You used to open for him, yes?
I did. I opened for him a couple of times.
I love that.
So I'm excited that he's here.
We
Oh
were,
my
we were bullshitting
God!
until you got here, David
Come
Tell.
on through. Come on.
Come here, I'm
I thought
giving
you
you...
guys would start, but I guess.
Yeah, they started.
We did
We're
start.
We
Good.
did start.
We
This
just
is our starting, and
started.
then
Is
we...
this for me? Thank you.
Yes.
Carie
I
bought
got you
that for you.
lottery
I love
tickets
that.
and a candy apple.
And I
Oh,
got,
that's really
I got
nice,
you a
Carie.
water.
Thanks.
Mine's not as nice.
Sorry.
That's all right.
That's all right. Dave, you lost
Wow.
weight.
Thank
You're
you.
skinny.
You look good.
I think it's the room. The room. Could it be tighter? For those who are just.
Is this okay? Or no?
Well, don't have a choice now, huh?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
so handsome.
You can sit over there if you...
Oh, that's
No,
cool.
no.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
We're good.
So, did you clear it with Chris Murphy, who's on stage right now? Is he on the? Are we doing a play-by-play
that's
of the
his name,
comics?
Murphy.
Murphy! I'm going, it's
Murphy.
Chris. I couldn't remember his last name. Chris Murphy.
So it's
I
like a
thought he was
play-by-play, like
Lucian with a
Yes.
NFL
long
wrap-up.
haircut.
I love Chris Murphy.
How's it going? How long has this podcast been going?
10 minutes because we.
No, I
couldn't-
mean,
Oh.
have you ever done one before?
This is... Well, I guess that means you haven't been listening to our podcast.
I
David Tell.
sorry,
We're
I'm always
been
too busy.
7 years today.
I'm too busy returning phone calls to be on a podcast.
I
Go
bet
ahead.
you were the most requested podcast.
I know.
is
I'm
your-
the last guy who's not doing his own podcast. So
I
this
know. What
makes
is up
me,
with that? You
You
don't have
should.
to. That's why you
No,
don't need to.
no, that's just you not being in the scene, realizing that. I don't know. I'm not a good podcast guy. Like I'm
What
not
does
a good
that
leader
mean?
of the podcast.
I think you are.
No, you gotta like, it's like you gotta like. I don't have that connection with the listeners. I'm a good guest, I think, or an
Yes.
okay guest,
Yes.
but
I think you have a... Why wouldn't you have a good connection?
I don't care about my life, and I think it's boring. But evidently yours isn't cool. So let's get through it. Let's get through it.
Wow!
$30 cab ride to get here. Go ahead.
Where do you live? New Jersey?
No, I was coming from Canal Street.
Oh, my God. What are
Yeah.
you doing down there?
On my laundry. What do you think I was doing down there?
You live down in Chinatown?
No, I don't. I was put down there.
He's not going to give us any information.
I love David Tell.
We're gonna
Let's
get to
just
the
talk
bottom of
about.
David
Let's talk
Tell.
about this club for a bit. I haven't been here in a few years. The last time I was here, the stage was over there.
That's right.
Right
They
there.
moved the
And
stage.
there was an audience. Sorry. No, it looks like they got a nice little crowd here for a Monday. Come on, let's support the club.
Where do they got? They got 15, 11.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But-
You remember back in the day?
Come
on now.
I remember watching you here back in the day.
Okay, but this was never my
Hilarious.
club, though.
But I remember you working here.
Nah, yeah, I never really was passed here. Lucian, who was the original manager
Right,
of the
right.
club, never really passed me here because I was working at Catch a Rising Star. So there was a
that's
different
weird.
competitive
I
club on
did
club
not know that.
You weren't allowed
beatdown
to
going
work
on.
there, yeah.
You couldn't work both clubs, and this was the club that I didn't really work. And then when I finally did start working here, it was already kind of
Over.
on the decline. But I do see big things going to happen here again. This, for anybody who is a super comedy fan, this is the club that you should definitely check out if you come to New York. Because this is like where it all started. This is where Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld, all those people.
Eddie Murphy.
You know, right?
Oh.
All
And
those
Jerry
people.
Seinfeld's the one who made the stage go over there because he did a special here, his Netflix special or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
So he had
Jerry
to move.
before Seinfeld.
Yes.
That's the name of the special. It's a great name.
Yes, yes. So he moved it.
Did he moved it himself?
No, he made them move it.
That would be funny if he did. Rolled up his sleeves. All
He's
that
Jewish.
yoga.
I don't think Jews don't move
Yeah,
things
Patty,
like
I
that.
like the hair. I like
Oh,
the
do you
whole
like
look.
the blonde?
Yeah, it looks
Really?
good.
Seriously?
She's
Thank
cute
you.
with it, right?
I know I need some more lowlights. Carrie and I were discussing it.
Oh,
but-
you lost me. What is that again? Both of you are rocking the blonde thing happening.
The older you get,
because
the,
you have to.
No, well, my mom is in the red stage.
Oh,
now,
I
with
like
the
red.
Oh.
I
hair.
like red too. I like red.
Older people, they go with the red.
Yeah,
but
that's like
not
Joy
brown
Behar.
anymore.
I think
Dark
it's so
brown.
that they can be seen in the night. You know, like when they're driving. There's nothing sadder than taking the keys away from an older person. It really is.
How is
It's-
your mother? Your father alive?
No, he passed away years ago.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, but we'll be right back. But
Oh, Dave cries. Sorry.
no, but she's doing okay. You know how it is. She lives out on the island, so you gotta run out there, go see her. Me and
Are
my
you from
sister.
Long Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Long Island.
That's where he
Oh,
started.
that's where you know.
Yeah, no, we're both Long Island comics.
Oh, I didn't know you were
We're
Long
the last
Island.
of the Mohegans, basically.
Yeah.
It used to be a bigger scene out there. Did you ever play any gig? Were you
I
ever on
did.
the road at all, or no?
Yes, of course. I
Like,
used
give
to
me
be.
some road towns. That you
Okay, I've done. I did
Hasbrook Heights.
Albany, Florida.
had. Okay.
Denver.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I've done a lot of shit, and I used to work Long Island a lot back when. What was the name of that club that used to have 5 shows on the weekend?
Governors, I guess.
No, another one.
East Side.
East Side.
East Side.
Did you
Wow.
do? You did East
That
Side.
was what's her name's club?
Minavini's. Richie Minavini.
No, I'm
oh,
thinking
the
of
other
Jimmy's
girl,
Comedy
Chuckles.
Alley.
You're thinking of the Chuckles.
No, I'm thinking
girl.
of
Oh,
Jimmy's
that was
Comedy.
Linda Rowe.
Yeah, Linda.
Oh,
Linda
yeah.
Cork.
Linda Cork, who was great.
Cork.
Another great.
I
one-
liked
Oh,
her.
that
No,
was
there's a lot
great.
of these club owners that no one knows that they really do help and support these acts. Like I can name like a ton of them. Unfortunately, they're also all passing away.
But
Like
you-
Dan Muir in Tempe, Arizona, and
What do you mean he's passing away? He
They
died.
died. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happens.
That was a bowling alley. That one place,
Yeah.
Jimmy's
That was
Comedy
the
Yeah.
Alley.
best
It was
room.
like-
The best room.
I love that room.
That was, I think I performed to some of the Gotti boys there at one point. I remember they go hey, don't bring up anything about the Gottis, because some of them are here. But I think they would like you, so you'll be all right. So you were like more worried about them
Scared.
than the rest of the crowd.
That's
So, but okay, so you started on Long Island.
Oh, is this like an interview
No.
kind of podcast?
Maybe.
Wow.
No.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. How long? How many podcasts have you done? You've done multiple ones now, or no?
We've
Yes.
done 20. What have we done, Adam? 20. Do you know Adam, by the way?
No.
He's a great
oh, yeah,
guy.
I do know Adam.
Adam
yeah,
Hineker.
yeah, he's a comic too.
What have we done? 20?
I wouldn't say I'm a comic, but
20?
yeah,
We've done 20.
Oh, so that's good.
So sometimes they're interviewee.
Because Carie, I was on a defunct podcast with her, the
Which
Kevin
one?
Brennan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
experience.
that's right. That's where.
So you should get Kevin in here.
We do.
We just had him. We just did last week.
See,
With
now
the
that's a
blind guy.
podcast.
Him
guy.
and the blind guy we did. He's got a blind guy who talks about.
Is that his new sidekick?
Yeah, he's so inappropriate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brian McCarthy. All he talks about is molesting children and
Ah.
the N word. So
Wow.
we tried to talk sense into him, but
And is the theme of the podcast for you guys, is it about like mothers? Like, because you're both mothers, right?
No.
No, it's not none of that.
No.
You
No,
don't
we
want to go. You don't want to go with something that is a proven hit. being mothers. Let's dance away from something that might lead to an actual TV show.
No, we bullshit. We bring people in and we find out a little bit.
Yeah, we
want to
know about you.
We want to know about you.
Well, I'd like to talk more about this club.
You know what I have about you? You know what
What?
I have? Remember you gave me that when you had Insomniac, the show? You
Yeah.
had these emergency kits with a condom in it and a breath mint and...
Really? I didn't know we had that kind of budget.
You did.
For the,
I got it. I have it at home. I was going to bring it, but I couldn't find it.
I have the Insomniac. Someone gave me the Insomniac book bag, which I know that we made like maybe 30 of them. And we should have always gone for the nightlight, but no one listened to me. But that was the days of merch.
such
Now
a
I can talk
great
about merch
show.
for hours.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about
Go
merch.
ahead, fill the time.
I love
I
that show.
You guys bring a Fox in the afternoon sensibility here. Just like we're waiting till something better happens.
We're like Hoda and Kathy Lee.
Another podcast idea crashes on the rocks.
True.
No, I
Well,
want to.
first of all, I'm going to say this, is that I think it's great. First of all, I don't see you enough, and I definitely don't see you that much, and I hope you're both doing stand-up because for those listening at home, is there a Zoom on your phone? Those listening at home, you guys were always so cool, and in the scene, like, let's face it, the scene of comedy, it's changing over now. It's a different scene from when you started. 'Cause
Right.
I started at the end of the comedy boom. That would be the late 80s. And I think Carie started a little after me.
I started early.
Early
80s.
90s.
You were
I
in the
was
thick of
older.
it.
You were in the boom before you got
Yeah.
banged by...
But you were not in the crashing, I'm trying to think of the I'm Dying Up Here. Have you seen this TV show?
Yeah, what do you think of that show?
70s comedy
What do you think of that show?
Well, I think it's a win for sideburns. I mean, it's bringing back that 70s look. But
Do you like the show?
book is awesome, and the show is like, it's kind of like a watered-down version of the...
I didn't know there was a book. There's a book?
Yeah, there's a book about
I
the
would read the
Comedy
book.
Store,
Oh,
which
okay.
was not us because we were the East Coast comics, and by the time I went out there, it was like a whole different scene. But that was like, I remember like working at the Improv across town, which was another like rival club. There was like this big like almost like Game of Thrones like club world war going on, and Silver Saunders Friedman.
Oh my
who
God,
was
insane,
like
right?
Yeah, who was like the
Mitzi.
The Mitzi of New York, right?
And she basically would audition us, and I worked the door with Kevin Brennan and a couple other people, and we would go on at the end. Now these younger guys, they start out almost with like a TV show or a podcast, and then they work their way into comedy because nobody's just going to come see you anymore as a comic. Like you need like the extra credit.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So that's when you got famous from your first show. From that,
Yeah.
right?
But I was a comic before that, and I'm a comic now after that. So.
And you want to do that more than like what show I loved of yours, by the way? Can I just say?
Yeah, go ahead.
The porn show.
Oh,
with
thanks.
on the couch. That was the. Did you ever
called
see the
Dave's Old Porn.
Oh my God! And it was porn stars from like the 70s or whatever, and these women or men would come on, and then you would show clips.
Yeah, tribute show. It's called Tribute.
Porn from the
Patty.
70s.
Tribute.
And these guys with those fucking Fu Manchu mustaches.
I didn't know we could drop the F-bomb in here.
Sure.
I
Why?
thought this was for other mothers trying to cope with career and family.
It was hilarious, that show. And you'd be on the
thank
couch
you.
would float around.
Everything he does is
Do you want to keep
hilarious.
describing, or do you want me to tell you what it was?
Tell me
us.
what it
There
was.
you go. It was about a tribute to the golden age of porn.
Yes.
That was like my mom describing like what she ate the other day. I don't know, it was crunchy, but it was spicy and nauseous. No, it was like a really good show. It was on Showtime, and the fun of it was bringing in the younger comics, like we brought in so many big names.
You had Margaret Cho. Was
Margaret
the
Cho, Amy Schumer, Chelsea Handler, Joe Rogan, Jim Norton, Artie Lang, my big friend in comedy. I mean, like, it was a lot of fun because everybody was having a good time, and it was like, we covered what we had to cover, but everything else you got to see. So now I'm trying to sell the show overseas because I didn't have the rights for it. Now I own it again. So I'm trying to sell it, and we've sold it in Poland.
Really?
Let's see, Belize, I think Australia. So we're trying to sell it. So far, all the countries, but the I think the ISIS Caliphate hasn't. No, it's funny the countries that aren't into it.
But wait a minute. So why can't you do it here again?
Oh, well, it's real expensive.
How expensive? You're sitting on a couch.
I don't know. Let's talk Carroll Gardens rent. it's about double that. You're not still living out in
No,
Brooklyn, are you?
I'm not.
Oh, you moved back in the city?
No, I'm upstate with my fiance.
Whoa!
It took me 2 hours
Where
to
do
get
you
down
live
here.
on Next Chapter Avenue?
I can't.
what unneeded animal are we rescuing up there? I like how I've met like everybody in New York, like they hit that point where it's like, I'm done with this town, I'm done with the career, I'm going to save ducks. It's like, where did that come from? You know what? There's a leather factory up there. I'm going to turn that into a vegan, organic
restaurant.
That's great, Patty. You deserve it. That's cool. Do you like it up there?
I do like it up
No,
there.
you don't.
Well, it's far. It's fucking far from every
You
time I
don't
come
like
in
it
here.
up there.
I
How
like
far
it
away
alright.
is it from funny? That's what I want to know. Like,
Very
what's the
far.
funniest thing to do around there? There has to be some kind of haunted hayride.
There is actually. You want to know something? I dated, I think, like a meth alcoholic guy when my kids were little, and we did a haunted hayride, and that guy was such an asshole and scared my kids. Like he was hiding behind the hay. But anyway, that just reminded me of it. He'd go ah! to my kids, and they're like, "We hate Robert."
That's great.
Anyway, so there is a haunted hayride. That is what you fucking do up there.
So and does he work up there, or he's doing something?
My fiance works in Greenwich.
Oh, okay. So that's like the other commute coming from upstate.
Yeah, so
to the-
he has to commute, and then I
Wow.
commute, and then I work in an antique store. It's like a whole bunch
Oh,
of shit.
She
really?
does eBaying.
I do eBay.
See, that would be
She's
cool
an
if you started a
eBayer.
show up there,
Where?
up in the Catskills, wherever it is, right?
Doesn't Mulrooney have one up there?
That would be
What is
great. You guys can be guests and then host each other ones, no? And what's his name? Nick DiPaolo lives. Well,
Where does he live?
They live like along the Hudson. A lot of these guys. I think they're
Oh.
hoping for that Erie Canal. It's weird because a lot of those guys, I think Robert Kelly, they all moved out of the city because they're
They have
family
kids.
men now. They're
Yeah.
family men now. So
Robert Kelly has kids? How many?
Kelly has a child. He has one kid.
I can't imagine these guys with kids, honestly.
can't
Well,
either.
that's really degrading. I can. Why not? For the woman who dated a meth head scaring her kids in a Halloween. Oh, really? They don't make the cut? Why? Because they got a check coming in every week? Is that it?
But come on, if you know Nick DiPaolo, does he seem like somebody who would have a kid?
No, I don't think he has a kid yet. But
Oh,
he's
he doesn't have a kid.
Ah,
Oh,
see?
okay.
He's married, all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, what about you? Can we? I know I'm not allowed
I'd
to
love
interview.
to.
Would you
I'd
like
love
a
to
See,
kid?
have a
you're
kid.
like Jim Morrison.
I would have a kid. We'd be sitting here every night as the waitress goes, "Who are you?" As she just said as I walked in, she goes, "Who are you?" And I
He's
said,
like,
we're all
what?
trying to find out who we are here, I think.
See, you know what the sad part is
That's so deep.
I would have his kid if I could.
Yeah,
That's
but
like
no,
having
we're
Jim
both not
Morrison's-
Greek.
No, but listen.
See,
to
I
me.
saw
true.
that big fat Greek wedding thing, and then I totally understood you better. And then I felt bad for you because I was like, you should have been in that. You could have taken it to the next level.
She's very upset that came out before she got to have her
Damn
big
it.
story
Right.
come out.
Wow.
Because that
Fucking
could have
love.
been her. It
Hey,
could
you
have
can
been
make
her.
the same movie, but with 3 jokes instead of the 2 I saw in it. Didn't like it.
So,
Andrew,
so
I was
what's
telling
wrong?
the story. I was with John Manfilati, and we went to see it. There's
There you go. How come he doesn't have any kids?
I love John Manfrotati.
I know,
He's
he
great
loved
guy.
you
Carrie's
too.
golf
He was
bag.
Is he
banging.
married? He's not married.
I don't know.
is he?
These are the people
He's
you were
not,
comics
no,
with. You
he
don't know
was
any of them?
not.
What
Oh,
about you?
here's the thing. Get an email address and get out there. What's happening?
Wait. I want to ask you now. You're cute. You're a
Yes.
catch. You're a
I-
catch.
I'm
girls
so
want
sick
you.
of this bullshit.
What do you mean?
Whatever. We're all broken toys, whether you're married or not. And let's look at these millennials over here, these robots. Do you think any of them
No.
gonna put up with any of that bullshit? No.
Listen to me, though.
but
They've
I
been
think-
raised already with this. Did you watch? What? Go ahead.
My daughter
think-
does stand up
but
comedy.
here's what I
No
I
way.
swear to
You
God.
couldn't talk her out of that.
Me and Eric Kornfeld's kid is doing stand up now. Okay.
Listen.
Wait, hold on a second. I have to hear this.
Oh God.
So
Terrible.
that's like comedy royalty because I wanted to do a TV show called the Sons and Daughters of Laughter, where it's the kids of comics
really?
who are doing comedy, but they get bumped by more successful kids. It's like, I'm sorry, what's your daughter's name, Shayna or Sunshine?
She was
What's her name again?
Molly
Oh, it's
Kornfeld.
Eric's daughter. What
Molly
is it,
Kornfeld.
Liza or?
So hurtful.
That's it. Well, let me just.
Yeah, get to it.
I want to get to it because I was.
I have a question.
I'm very
after you.
upset that a guy like Jim Morrison never had a kid.
Why?
Because he was amazing. I love Jim Morrison. Now that's how I feel about you. I feel like I would have
I'm
loved to
at
have had
that
your
zone
kid.
now.
I would have had a little genius, but it probably would have taken my fucking DNA
We
and have been an
both can
idiot.
adopt a North Korean child. Give it a few weeks.
Well, wait, people do call him a genius. You are like a genius. Come the fuck on.
I've just been doing it longer. That's all it is.
No, like people, but not like just like regular, like all the top guys call him a genius, like the Louis C.K. Even Kevin Brennan.
No.
Kevin
Those guys
Brennan.
are really
well,
different
Kevin
level
Brennan
of
hates
comedy.
everyone and thinks
And
people
love-
aren't
Kevin
funny.
is my oldest friend
Loves
and
you.
enemy in comedy.
But
He's my
he-
oldest friend and enemy. Yeah.
He will say horrible
Kevin and
things
I-
about you, and then at the same time say, "There's nobody funnier than you." Like all the
Well,
guys.
because
Well,
you
there you go.
like I used to open for him, and
Yep.
every night, let's say we'd had 2 shows or whatever the weekend, however, he'd have a different punchline for the same joke
Yeah,
every
there you
time.
Go.
Why?
Keeping them guessing.
How are you? What do you write? You write every day. You write every day.
No, I don't.
What do
I
you
don't
do?
write every day. When you get older, it's all about the setups. It's not about you now finally learn how to write a joke. Now it's like trying to find another porn joke. Like you feel really bad about that. That's why like when you bring up Louis and those guys, they've taken it to another level. Like there's a whole new level of comedy now in this golden age of comedy. There's a new level. There's also a lot of I think that my goal every time is to be consistently funny and bring new material and all that stuff. But now there's a lot of issues and a lot of passion in the comedy, which when we were starting, like I can always imagine if somebody went up there with some kind of real political thing, like at some like open mic somewhere, like at McGuire's, or
McGuire's,
something,
that
and like
drunk
how they would
guy.
have been shouted down and
Right.
have bottles whipped at them. But now these people will listen and like I guess they judge them on the web. But it's just weird because there's a lot of like issues in comedy, and I
You
think it
don't
should
do
just be
political
funny.
shit. You
No,
right?
if I do it, it has to be really funny, and I think that that's kind of my thing. But I'm a club comic. I'm not like a stadium comic or anything like that. And it's funny because every time I see you, I always remember the old days. Like the times when like comedy was not that good when I started, and like the people doing it were really kind of doing it. Like some of them thought they were going to get a Seinfeld TV show. Like I know you had some TV stuff going, and I was always pulling for you, like because I always thought like you were the complete package.
I didn't have
you're
too
hot,
much going
you're
on.
funny, that kind of
You
stuff.
did, you were
But you
right
never
on the
moved to
point.
LA though.
No, I didn't. That's
See,
true.
that was your thing. You
Yeah,
didn't
that
wanna
was
go.
a mistake. Yeah.
And I don't know why you didn't do that because they have meth heads out there too.
You know what?
That's called bringing it back around.
No, my dad was kind of sick at a certain point, and I
Oh, well,
thought
there
if
you
I
go,
go
yeah.
out there and he dies, and I don't know,
It's tough being on the road with the family.
And then I
stuff.
got married, and then I wanted to have kids. And
But you didn't want to like just go out there because a lot of your buddies moved out there.
I know a lot of.
Sue Kalinsky.
Yeah, but then like a lot of shit didn't happen to those people.
Yeah, but at least they made
They tried.
I don't know what to tell you, but yeah,
No, I know.
everybody
Yeah,
moved out there.
yeah.
Although whenever I'm out there, like you never see any of them because it's like after 10 o'clock, and in LA, everybody's home or they're doing their other thing or they have a writing job or they're catering. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not out. In New York, at least you can stay out at night and like. hang.
That's what I hate. That there's no food there after like 10 o'clock at night.
That's true, yeah.
You
And if
can't
you
get
do
food.
eat after 10 o'clock, you're like a criminal because you're supposed to have already eaten. You're supposed to have already had a big meeting and
Before
eaten.
6.
So wait a minute. This is what I want. Here's an interview question I have for you.
How does it
Okay.
feel to carry the ball of this podcast? Well, you know what? I really thought we'd be halfway done if I came late enough.
I know that's what you were thinking.
I was hoping. I
Okay.
really was.
Okay,
I thought I could be at the end, the third
Okay,
guest.
okay, you're brilliantly funny. Let's just fucking admit
Go ahead.
it. Okay, you're brilliantly
I
funny.
don't like the compliments. So
Okay,
keep it going.
okay. So,
Yeah.
what fucked up childhood? You have to have something fucked up happen for you to be this funny.
I don't think.
Come on.
First of all,
You don't go
let's
with
look
my
around
theory?
the world and look at childhoods. Okay. Did I have to walk miles for water? No. Did I? Was I wearing a wig, carrying a machine gun? No. I wasn't doing any of those
I
things.
don't think it's
So
true
I
for
think
everybody.
I would say the one thing that the good of Long Island is that like when I grew up out there, it was still kind of a fun island. Now I see it as just this kind of real estate,
Parking lot.
sad, like thing happening out there. It doesn't like I never see anybody out on the street when I go out there. When I was a
Right.
kid, we were out there playing frisbee,
Oh, that's what
getting
when
high.
we were kids we all did. We played out in the street.
Parents won't let their kids out now; they're afraid. And I
Yeah.
get it. I totally get it.
Oh my
'cause-
God, I don't let my kids. I never let my kids out of my sight. Even
So-
when they wait for the bus, I'm the window.
Yeah, you
'Cause
can.
they get-
you're worried.
They get picked up or something. So wait, so you're telling me you had a normal childhood?
I think I had a pretty good childhood. Being,
Your mother's normal. Your father's normal.
Yeah, no, I was raised for retail because like we're Jews and like we worked in business. Like I was working at big work ethic in my family of like your job.
But your
Like-
mother's proud.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of them too. And I would say one thing about like My thing would be with my family, because we were such workers, you know, and we're good, you know, we're pretty good. We might be distant and everything, but we're still good, you know. But the funny thing would be like, you know, like, oh, you know, tomorrow is like your, like, you know, someone's birthday, and it's like, yeah, but I might get a job delivering news. Okay, no, that's way more important than, you know, like we'd always be like that kind of people.
Oh, okay.
You know, like that kind of thing. Like, so that was the funny of it. Like we were trained to be like workers.
They were okay with you being a comics when you said
no,
to your
in the
father?
beginning, it's not that they were okay with it. It was just that they didn't know where it was going to go. They thought I'd eventually go into advertising or something like that. But I didn't want to be a comic. Like that was these young kids here. They start out wanting to be a comic. That's their plan A.
Right.
You are their role model.
When we were doing comedy in the beginning, there was all these like, oh, this guy, like, you know, like Uncle Dirty. Let's bring up
Oh my God,
an
Uncle
icon.
Dirty, remember?
He had like 100 jobs before he was a comic. You know,
Yeah,
he was in the Korean War. He was the salesman. He had
Yeah.
done all these different things.
Yeah.
And then he was a comic.
Yeah.
And that was like there was a million guys like that.
Yeah.
They were like
Ronnie
other-
Dangerfield was like that.
Exactly. He
So,
was selling,
siding and
signing,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Now these kids, like, they'll come up to you at the show and they'll be like, you know,
Right
I'm
out of high
fit,
school.
yeah, like whatever. Not even like junior high. It's like I already have an act. I can't get into the club to see comedy. What do I do? You know, that's why your kid should start on the YouTube. You should get her like a YouTube channel.
She had a podcast and then they quit for a while. Now that she's doing it again.
Now the mother-daughter podcast. No one's seen that yet. Now there you go.
I think she would be like so fucking horrified.
But that
to
would
have to
be
do
great
that
for
with me.
advertising.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, are you
I
guys doing
agree.
this for some, like, for just the good of doing it, or do you want to make
Who,
some money?
Carie and me?
She's due making some money. She's been on like 5 failed podcasts already. She's like on the Titanic. Like the boats keep going down, but she's floating away.
I have a curse over me.
No, it's not you. It's definitely not you, because you're. It's like you're like the. It's like you're the band, and now you're just waiting for the lead singer. Like you just
Right.
need that.
Carrie's the funniest.
So-
Yeah, no, she's a great. Like that's why when
Terrible.
Kevin and
Yeah,
her together, I was
somebody-
like, that's a good podcast.
Yeah, that is. Somebody told
They
me
went
that
with the
I
blind
should
guy.
instead of her.
Wow, that's gotta hurt. That's a crush.
Somebody told me my podcast with my daughter should be called you know, Your Dad's a Homo, or I Married a Homo. That should be the title
But
of
what
the
if that has
podcast.
nothing
First of
to
all,
do-
he was way ahead of the game. Let's look at what's going on out there. He made a smart career choice 10 years before it was. And I haven't seen Eric in years. How's he doing? Is he okay?
He got
He got
married.
married.
He got married
Oh, that's great.
to a guy.
Well, yeah, I get it. And then does he with the kids and everything?
He
does he-
sees the kids. Yeah.
And what do they do?
They live. One of them lives across the street from him.
Do they
Right.
call the new father,
Oh God, no,
daddy?
no, no.
Wow, that's good. So everybody's
they're,
happy now.
They're all hooked up. Everybody.
And how's your son doing?
I don't have a son.
Oh, you have 2 daughters.
Yes.
Yes.
So one wants to be a comic, and what does the other one want to do?
The other one is in real estate. Well, she
No
wants to.
way.
She's an assistant to a realtor, but she
I
just
love
got her
it.
license. She wants to make some money, some
Does
cash.
she do the open houses?
Yes.
Oh, that's.
She
I've been
does.
looking for places, and you'll like walk in to like the open house, and there's like some like girl like right out of college, she's sitting there with a clipboard.
That's what she
like. What is
does.
this?
She says it's so. She goes.
depressing.
She writes to me while she's sitting there. She goes, "I'm just lurking in this fucking house."
Yeah.
She goes, "These people are like." She goes, "I'm just sitting here trying to look like I'm busy, you know." And she kind of like walks around, and you know they make them sit there on the weekends and whatever. Yeah.
No, because I've
she
been
has
looking
to
for.
follow them around. They steal people's jewelry.
Yeah, you're supposed to like. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you
And
are?
here's another thing, which is great because I've been looking for an apartment. So
An apartment you're looking for?
Yeah, you're right. I should go with a townhouse.
Yes!
I should go with a full tilt Zsa Zsa Gabor.
You
here.
got a lot of cash. You got a lot
I
of
know.
cash.
You really have
Vest.
a weird sense of what's been happening in
Wait
the
a
world.
minute. Okay, on your thing it says your worth. Should I say, Sam, how much do you think?
Yeah, go ahead. I can tell
Okay.
you. I'll tell you higher or lower.
Tell me what you think.
Does it say 100 grand? Because I'm worth a little bit more than that. Go ahead.
You're in the millions.
16 million. It says.
16 million? No, I'm not. I wish I was. If I was worth 16 million, I'd probably go like, you're close, but I'm not. I'm nowhere near that. I'm nowhere near that.
You're
I
in the
probably
millions.
in drugs and alcohol, I've spent $60 million. I think.
There you go.
Probably a couple $100 grand at her brother's bar. Now that's what I would like to talk about property, and then I'd like to get how like Carie also is another version of like because she grew up in a business, like
Yes.
really grew up.
Yeah.
Like I bet you her first words were coleslaw. Like we need more coleslaw, and like she had to like learn how to make it. But she grew up in a real business. Like you probably were at some kind of Jewish camp
I'm not
or something.
Jewish. I'm Irish.
Okay, you were at some kind of cop wake. Well, this chick, she was there learning how to make a souvlaki.
Cocktail hour, right?
Oh wow, everybody's here.
Who's
This
here? Who's that?
is awesome. Who's
Is that
that?
Justin?
That's Justin.
Dustin.
Chafin.
Dustin.
He
No,
doesn't use
Justin.
me, so I don't like
Dustin.
him. Okay.
All right, so back to the property thing.
Yeah.
There's a type of porn, tell your daughter about this, called property sex, where it's
the hell's
basically
that?
point of view camera where the guy walks in and there's the real estate agent and like, she's got to make the sale, so she has sex with the guy. So she should look at it, she'll have a laugh. Second,
Don't give her
I'm so
ideas.
old, I look at it for the real estate.
I
I'm
like
like, look
the-
at that 2-bedroom.
I like that you know all about
Don't
porn.
step on a punchline.
So you're kind of...
Go ahead.
That's fucking funny.
Sorry.
Okay, so you know so much about porn. Now let me ask you this about
Mm-hmm.
porn. Now, if you're so into porn, right?
Does it take away from the actual?
Yeah, from the real
Yes.
fucking. Like, aren't
Thank
you like?
Yes.
How can
it's
you?
doing its job.
You can't.
It doesn't make you want to
can't-
go out and meet people.
You can't like, and also it takes away the need to go. And then when
No,
you're
but
with the girl,
when you're
When you were
watching
with-
that, you don't want a fat girl now, because you want that perfect body, the girl that'll take
Well-
you in the ass.
can you
and
be with a
everywhere else.
regular
That's-
girl now?
Yeah, you didn't have to use that tone, but yes, Carrie's exactly right. Now, being both Greeks, I assume your porn would be owning a parking lot. What would be?
But
Okay,
wait,
back
you
to you,
can't
Patty.
do you
What kind of
can't say-
porn did you watch with your husband?
You can't say take this.
Like, what would you guys watch for
You dirty
porn?
whore.
What would you watch? Like the Tonys?
Do you
Come
know?
on, that's fucking
Can I tell you something? He bought me my
What?
first for my birthday.
Vibrator.
No, not my first vibrator. You bought me my first porn collection.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I never watched porn. I always thought it was disgusting.
No,
right?
that's not true. You told me you love Rocco Zeffirelli.
Hold on.
He's very big in the porn world.
No, but
Rocco Zeffirelli?
so he
He's
gives
really
me these
good.
tapes, and I'm not going to watch them. These were big VHS tapes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm watching them, and now I know everybody's name. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Now I'm buying my own from the Pink
I didn't
Pussycat
know
from
that.
Ed.
Yeah.
I became a porn addict.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know
an
that, Carie.
addiction. Yes.
Oh yes.
But I like how you like women like certain porn guys, and like they're always like, this guy Rocco, who's like, he actually did a documentary about himself. So talk about belief. He believes in himself.
What's his name? Rocco.
Rocco Zeffirelli.
I can't
He's
even look him
I
up.
gotta
or I'll
look
get
him
a
up.
virus.
My favorite guy's
You'll get.
my favorite guy's Pierre Woodman, who looks exactly like me, and he was a French cop who interviews them, and then he auditions them.
But there's
And
so
then-
many now.
Yeah, I've met like a bunch of these guys, like Randy West and Ed Powers. These are like the guys from the '90s porn. But now I assume, the big thing about porn now is these webcam shows that
Live.
they have them in there, like you and your boyfriend would have sex on there, and then guys will pay to see it.
And you like that?
No,
You
I
like
think that's
life?
the most degrading thing out there, where it's like, because the girls talk to the guys, and you could almost smell their house with the look in their voice, like, thank you, Jimmy. They give them like these big coins. Bing, 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 bing.
The kids crying in the
Thanks,
other
Kevin.
room.
Yeah.
thing that I never liked about porn. Here's
Well, is
my-
it because you're Irish? Is that what it is?
No.
Because I know you guys have like a thing about it.
No. It just seemed sad. Like the girl. Like I think. Well, what
Oh,
is
it's
Yeah,
it?
always
never-
the girl.
no,
And
wait,
what
wait,
about
wait,
the
wait.
poor guy? Do you think that was his dream?
5 guys
He
banging
wanted to
her.
be an actor
I think
or
it is
something.
their dream. I think their dream
No.
is
I
to
think
just
the
fuck
guy's
as many
journey
women
gets
as they
laid.
possibly can.
No, it's just like a great plan B. That's all it is. It's just like, oh, well, I've got this huge dick. I can do with that. Yeah, that's
Right.
what they're doing.
But-
But they all want to be, every one of them is a rapper or a musician. They all have like another
Really?
career that they want to do.
See, I don't think when there's a gross guy like Ron Jeremy,
Yeah,
he's
Well,
so
now you're making,
disgusting.
that's like
Now you
kneeling
know
during the
him.
flag,
Right,
making
that-
fun of him. What are you talking about?
He's the
Sorry for
best.
making it topical. I said it's
repulsive.
supposed to be evergreen.
But he was the guy back in the day. Now there's good-looking guys. They want to do it.
That's right.
Back then, you always got like the skeevy fat guy
Yeah,
that
why?
wanted to show his dick and get laid because he wasn't getting laid.
Well, you're not preaching
Out-
to the choir. I kind of look like his son, and I think he's great.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, I've met him many a time.
Wait, was he good in the? I never saw him in a movie.
Yeah,
Was he
no,
actually
well, then
good
what do
as
you-
a fucker?
He's got a really
Yeah,
big
no, he's
dick.
very cool, and like I love the '70s ones because those people like they really are like fun. Like Seika, do you know this name Seika?
Yeah, the blonde. I
Yes.
know her.
You
Yes.
know, Marty Rackham never brought her up or anything.
Marty
like that.
Rackham.
I'm gonna keep throwing names at you. Any of the old
Did
improv
Marty-
crew?
Did Marty Rackham know her?
No, I'm just trying to throw names at you that you might know.
I know Marty Rackham. That's so fucking funny.
What?
I haven't heard
What's
that
his name?
name
Mike.
either.
what's his
Yeah,
name?
Mike Rowe.
No. Well, Mike Rowe, of course, could do an impression of her.
Mikey.
No. What's his name from Sex and the City? Mike.
Oh, Mike King.
Mike is the
King.
most successful guy of your generation.
That's true.
Of a outside of Larry David and
You know who's really successful?
You know, like they're
Keith
Keith
Robinson.
He is.
I fucking used to work with him at the Trump.
Who, Keith
Not
Robinson?
Keith,
The
Craig
black guy?
Robinson.
Keith just had a stroke.
I know, not Keith.
I just
Craig.
saw him do a set with Kevin Hart at the Foxwood. It was amazing. He was like, it was like in a circular stage or whatever, and he kept going to the right, because of his arm. But
You're such an
he's
asshole.
great. He killed it.
fucking love him.
I was like, if we put him on a TV show, he would have gotten an Emmy just out of the this guy had a stroke. I mean,
And
come
he's
on.
still
But
going.
is he like all strokey?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Oh, he
he
is?
can't even talk. I mean, but he's
Oh.
No,
getting
he
better.
can talk. He did
He's
a great
getting
set.
better. He's getting better.
Oh, wow.
I'd put him up against your old meth head boyfriend any day, on a haystack or on the ground.
It's a callback.
I wonder
to
where
say
that guy
Craig
is.
Robinson.
I wonder where. I'm sorry, Craig Robinson. That's what you were saying.
Who's Craig Robinson?
He's great. He's on the TV shows.
He's on
He's a big
30 Rock.
Hot Tub Time Machine. Have you heard of any of this stuff?
No, you know him. He used to play the keyboard.
You know.
Oh, yeah, the guy
he
with
was
the big
always-
head.
right,
Play the
the big-
keyboard.
You know what we should call
And
this
a fat.
the
He used to
podcast?
hit on me all the time. I was
Slow
like, "Get
internet.
lost."
You guys kind of know what's happening.
Can't remember
So do you
anybody's
think
name.
Hillary's going to be a good president? I don't know. Let's wait on the results. Oh, they'll be in any day now with our very slow internet.
Okay.
Look.
Let me ask you this. You're on the road.
I'm on the road.
You're cute.
Right.
You've got a lot of cash.
Right back to the hotel. That's
Yeah,
how I do it.
The
Boom.
are the vaginas
I
being
want a
thrown at
15
you?
Yeah, but you're older now. You don't want
No, I
want to
I want to go right back to the hotel.
Don't lie.
No, that's what I do. I go right back to the hotel.
And?
Oh, no, that's not true. First, we wander around looking for, because you're a New Yorker, you want to eat something after the show.
Yes.
And, I always wait too long to get it from the club, to get
Yes.
the food from the club. So now it's like, hey, do you know a place to eat late around here? And, you'll always ask the one guy who's like, I don't know, I've never been up since past 7 o'clock. So, yeah, it's like all that kind of stuff. You go back to the hotel, and then you smoke out in front of the hotel and watch everybody else whore it up, going in and out.
Come on. There are
That's how
girls
it is.
throwing themselves at
No,
you.
there's none of that. Actually, it's all drunk guys or now married couples who grew up watching me on television. So I'm like an old Batman, basically. I'm like Adam West. They come up to me and they're like, "Oh man, I watched you. Blah, I was a little kid." And so there's
No
that.
young girls.
None of it. None of it. That's just how it works. It's just like, I guess.
And back in the day, they were all over.
No,
me.
they weren't all over me then too. The
Don't
point of it
fucking
is,
lie.
as ugly as ugly as ugly. It doesn't matter. You can
He's
put a
very
you can,
cute.
you can
He's
put a
very
hat on
ugly.
you can put a hat on a mule, but it ain't gonna make him a horse.
You're
Oh,
very
God.
cute. You're very
Well,
funny.
thanks
You're
a
the
lot,
whole
ladies.
package. And
Thanks a lot, ladies.
we want you to find a nice girl
Thank
and
you.
settle
No,
down.
we
This is like the
don't.
telethon
We
when they're
don't
waiting.
want.
They're waiting before the
I don't think
Tiffany
you
roll.
should settle down. I think you should have
Sorry,
a
I thought
kid.
you liked being married. Don't you like
You
being
thought. No.
Look, my husband's
She's
cool
not gonna
because he
answer.
doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
If I
no.
could build another room, that's why I'm doing the podcast. Hopefully, I'll make money. Build another room to the house. Give him that part of the house.
I
We're
understand.
good.
That's good.
But I don't think you should get married. I think you should just have a child, a little David Attell.
And I would call the kid Bravo because we're theatrical. Unless that's the name of one of Eric's cats, then I don't want to step on it.
That is so mean.
I love
Did you know
Patty,
he
but
was gay? Did you know he was gay? No.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
But, but I didn't make as big a deal about it as all of you people did. Like for some reason in the world of entertainment, being gay was the thing. I was like, it's like we're not scientists. This is in NASA in the 60s.
Okay, but she should have known when he cried down the aisle.
I didn't know that.
He was
did, he
crying
sobbed.
on the wedding.
Who was your best? Who was your bridesmaid? Or was it all comics?
No, it was children. I didn't pick.
Did you know Leah Krinsky?
Yes.
See, she had already moved to.
Very sexy.
Yeah, I thought I was
Did
like.
you
That's
date her?
No, I'm so much younger than the group of 5 comics that you know. I was the one holding the door open as all you guys came in. Do you remember that?
Oh my God, that's
No, but
hilarious.
I was always like, first of all, her name is sexy. That Leah Krinsky.
Leah
It's like,
Krinsky, very
wow. And she moved to LA a long time ago.
Yes.
So that was like your group, right?
That is my and Carol Montgomery and all those girls. And
On your market set brunch. I can only imagine the brunches you had.
Susie Sorrow.
Right.
Susie Sorrow. All of that.
But they all moved.
Yeah,
Susie
they all
and
moved out
Susie
there.
So why
Essman,
didn't you? Well, Patty, you should really went out there. You really should have.
Well, my
Let me make a phone call. I'm gonna get you on. I'm gonna get you on Star
flip phone.
Search.
Nice.
Hello, Ed. Ed. What? He no here no more. Yawn. How much more time?
he's ready to go. He's put his fucking time in.
You guys should
You
really
ready
bring
to
in.
leave?
No, I'm not. No, don't look in that eyes like. I'm gonna roll up my sleeping bag and leave, lady. Either way, no, I'm having a great time. I actually want to do a set.
You are going to do a set?
I'm hoping.
Did you ask them?
I don't know who runs the club anymore.
Does he have to ask?
Yeah, I would
He
ask.
does have to
And I don't
ask.
like bumping other comics either. I don't like that.
Come
so.
on.
I don't like it.
Where do
There you go.
You work every
When's
night?
the last time you went on stage? Because maybe we should all go on together.
I went just this weekend.
Speaking of that, I saw the
How
video
was
every
it?
weekend.
He goes on with Jeff Ross.
Jeff
Oh,
Ross.
yeah. How
it's
is that?
hilarious.
That's great.
It is?
hilarious.
It's
like
kind of
a
like
roast.
the Sunshine Boys with none of the feel goodness.
Yeah,
I
they
love working
rip
with
the
Jeff. We have a
crowd-
good
they-
time.
They rip the crowd to shreds. It's like
It's a good time.
roast.
Yeah.
So what do you have? Is anything? It's just is it total improv? Nothing's set up.
Well, now at this point we kind of know each other's acts, so we try and riff to the act sometimes.
Oh.
But I like it the best when it's free form, when it's just like all
Like
over.
super
yeah,
free
yeah,
form.
Yeah, and I ask him a couple questions, and we go back and forth like that. But Jeff is fun because he's so opposite of me. Like, he knows, like, celebrities. He, like, lives in L.A. He's got this great pad and everything like that. He enjoys show business,
Right.
You remember, like, when it was cool to, like, enjoy show business? Now it's all got to be, like, even though I'm in this private plane, I'm really thinking of owls. Like, you're not allowed to, like, enjoy the moment. So he enjoys
friar?
it. He's
Is
very
he a
cool.
friar? Yeah,
He's
a
a
Yeah, he's a
friar.
friar.
He's really good to his family. He's very good.
Oh, yeah, he's a
like
big family guy.
He will track down a fifth cousin. Like, he'll like track him down. Like, hey, I want you to come live with me for like 6 months. Like, he's amazing. He really is.
He's not married though.
He's not married. He's a good bachelor. I
He
think.
always has younger girlfriends. That's
Yeah.
why
He dates
20-year-olds.
and it's L.A., so that's kind of cool. But I would say that we're both up there now. So like, I'm 52.
Yes.
And I think he's a little younger than me, so that's
He's
that's
younger?
What it is. So, but we're about
he
100
looks
years.
older.
I think we should. I think we should go 100 years of funny, like the both of us together.
Now, will you date a girl your age or no?
No, I used to have a crush on Joan Rivers' daughter. Like, I really thought that would be the best of both worlds.
You
Where
did have a crush on
I
her?
had a huge crush on her.
Really?
Like when I first said, I was like, oh, that would be the girl for me because she's Jewish, and her
mother.
mom, and then we could go back and forth with her mom the whole time. It's like this son-in-law of mine. But she would hate it. She would have hated that because I met Joan like twice, and I was like, she would have hated it. She wanted, like, to be like a chief justice or something.
Yeah. She always wanted
yeah,
to
like
be
legit.
highfalutin.
Legit.
Did you ever see her house when when they sold her shit after she died? It was all like, it looked like Donald Trump furniture, that gold gilded
Yes,
shit,
yes.
like French Louis the blah blah furniture.
It was like either from the Versailles or just from Staten Island. This is my good stuff. But I loved her. She was like a real
Who,
big...
Joan Rivers or the
I loved her.
daughter?
Did
I
you
loved
meet her?
Joan- I did
She's
meet Joan
divorced,
Rivers.
isn't she?
What?
She's divorced.
The
Oh,
daughter.
the daughter. Yes.
She's available.
Joan
And
Rivers.
she has a kid that
Yeah.
you could probably teach to do
That
comedy.
kid's probably funnier than me now. Look at all the DNA wise.
But now the girl is getting up there. You would probably not be interested in her anymore because she's
Is that you putting
projecting.
that on me
Yes,
or whatever?
Yes, I am projecting.
First of all,
Come on, you
there's-
like the
Once you hit
20-year-olds?
40, no, I don't. Once
Really?
you hit 40, I don't. I think we're all in the same boat. It's really just who works out and who doesn't. That's all it is. It's the people who give up.
What does that mean?
Like,
I
like
don't.
I look like I run a flea market, and I'm totally cool with that. But I know that's not going to...
You know something? I go to flea markets all the time. I went to one
Yeah,
Sunday.
and I look
you
like
do look like a guy at a flea
And
market.
at a flea market, I can hold my own pretty much against any of the other guys. And I know that. So it's really about knowing who you are. Like this young guy over here, he's a good-looking guy.
Good-looking, handsome.
And we
Adam.
caught him on a shave. He usually isn't shaved like that. He usually has more of an
That's
Israeli
true. He did.
kind of Eric Banya
Yeah,
look
yeah,
to him.
yeah. That's true. Eric Banya. I can't believe you. That's a good reference.
Thanks. So he's not Jewish, is he?
No. Hinneker. What are you, German?
Well, yeah, partially.
Partially.
Partially German.
Part chili German. I smell Mengele. This is one of the kids. Wow. No wonder he's wearing that sweater. That's always that's always a South American thing. It might get chilly here, and that's where I'm from. All right,
10
guys.
million. Are you worth 10 million?
No, I'm not. I'm worth way less.
Patty
than that.
wants to know.
I want to know what you're worth.
This is really
But
like
she does her-
I love.
Rona Barrett style.
I love.
Screaming at someone. 10 million.
I love that. You know how many people
I've spent
make it in this
hundreds of
business?
thousands of dollars on my own projects, which
Well,
you're
you're
never
not
supposed to
cheap.
do.
You're
You're
not
never
cheap.
supposed to do that. I was a great tipper at her
Big
bar.
Very- she always said big tipper.
Hundreds.
Oopa, oopa, I used to say. And then we spit on a picture of Cyprus. Pusa, pusa. A boo, ba, 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 ba.
You know who else said that about you, that you're very generous, is Denise from Bananas, because I just was over there and I said...
How is Denise doing?
Denise said, I go, oh my God, because Carie just texted me, and I had just done Bananas. I go, oh
Are
my
you
God.
talking about Bananas in Poughkeepsie?
No, in New Jersey, Poughkeepsie's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, but
no,
she
but you
was-
should get the couple who ran that Bananas in here. That would be great. What's the secret to this relationship?
to run it.
Like they met at Woodstock. What happened there? They 68 during the police riot. They were like hipster couple, and then they started running the club. And I always felt so bad. Every time they would hand you a check, it's like, "Are you giving me this check? Does that mean like you're not going to be able to fix your car?" I felt really bad.
And then they put they managed Stephen Scott. They were his manager.
Who are they managing?
They were
You don't know
managing
Stephen Scott?
No, who's that?
You
I
don't
don't
know
know.
Stephen
Is that-
Scott, a fellow Jew.
Oh, with the
His
name of
father-
Stephen
wait,
Scott.
his father was an anchor, wasn't he? For one
Something.
of the.
He plays the piano at Dangerfield. You know,
Oh
he's
no,
one of
no,
those guys.
I haven't. No,
He does a Trump
I-
impression.
Okay.
Anyway, Denise said about you,
does a Trump.
very generous, and she said she goes, I'll tell you something about David Attell. She goes, nobody gives a shit about the waitstaff, and nobody talks to them, says hello to them, does boo. He always comes in, loving the waitstaff and bringing them stuff like candy.
That's what he
She
does.
says you're a big candy guy for
There
the
you go. The
waitstaff.
Candy Man, as they call me. On the
Yes.
other side of Mississippi.
Yes.
But I like the first part of where you go, none of the comics come in and do anything, blah, 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 blah. I love that part.
That's right.
I love that. These little divas sitting
Yes.
in a green room closet thinking they're bigger than they are.
That's right.
No, the staff is where it's at. I used to work in a comedy club.
Azizes.
Wow, you guys, this is like a hate fest, huh? Is that how it
No,
works?
you know why? Because I didn't know who he was.
Who?
Who?
Aziz.
Oh.
You don't like him, huh?
Well, I don't like him at all because I'll tell you why. I never met the guy. I was at the cellar and he's there, and these two young kids were like, "Oh, it's Aziz, it's Aziz." So they go up to him and they go, "Hey, man, can we just get a quick picture?" And he was like,
Oh, no.
"No."
Are you kidding me?
I was like, "Fucking said no." Like
David
so
Attell
that's
would never
like-
do that.
No,
Yeah,
he would
no.
never do
Let me just say one
that.
thing.
Yes.
Now that you've started your whatchamacallit attack on show business, the two of you with names, we're crossing off people who will never be on the podcast now. Who's next?
He might come
Who's
on.
next? James Caan?
He might come on and he might defend himself why he didn't take
That-
a picture with those kids.
That's Kevin's training right now. Throw the gauntlet. Throw it out. Throw the gauntlet out.
Yeah, he just buries everyone.
Hey, you know Kevin's married. He's very happily married. He has 2 children, so
Is he
figured
happily
it out.
married?
He's got really
The-
cute kids. It's amazing.
Yeah, he has a great joke there about it because they're
What does he say?
biracial.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
so it's like, of course they're going to be good looking. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you take the best of both races and you put them together. It was really,
The best of one race.
yeah, it was great. I give it like 3 Hiles. I would say it was some kind of weird genetics.
He's somebody I never thought. That didn't seem like someone who would make a marriage work. Come on.
No. How about Havey? Havey's at the cellar. Isn't that great?
Alan Havey?
Alan
my
Havey, yeah.
God, how old
You know
is
him,
he?
right?
I do know him.
There you go. These are the legends. These are the original
I
gangsters.
worked at Comedy Central when he worked at Comedy Central. He was a little bit of a diva at
Ha,
Comedy Central.
the Ha Network, I believe it was called.
That's it was Ha. I think it was called Comedy Central. That Ha and something
Ha
that began
Network.
with an M merged the year I worked there. I forget what it was. So I think it was called Comedy
Well,
Central.
she was with the Jon Stewart
Yeah, I know.
when you were there. right?
No, that was way before I was there. That was like
Oh,
7 or 8 years
okay.
before
He
I was
was
there.
with there.
No, you were there before Mark Maron was there on that show.
Yes,
There you
Mark
go.
Maron came after.
That's
When
awesome.
I got fired from that bitch who ran it because I had a baby and I got fat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
She
weird.
fired me the week I came back, and I
That's
was really
terrible.
fat.
Wow, nowadays...
I could have
you
sued her. I could have sued
Yeah,
her.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
that, and you
definitely.
could have brought the baby on nowadays. That would
Oh
have
my
like
God!
ratings.
I said, "Can I bring the baby and have the baby stay in the room?" And she was, and I thought, "Look, here's a woman boss
Yeah.
who's going to be so understanding.
And
She's like,
supportive.
she's like, absolutely no babies here. No,
She was a dyke.
because I was breastfeeding. So with Jon Stewart, I used to have to put that plastic thing
Right.
on, and we'd be talking, discussing the show, and have a blanket, and we'd just go. Zzz.
You were great on that show. I liked.
That
I
was
remember
such a fun show, but he was fun to do it with. He was really fun.
Well, hey, you know what? I think you know, like everything is another chapter, so that's cool. But you're right, like from then to now, that's how many years ago? 30, 40 years ago?
At
Yeah,
least.
see,
Why does
like
he hurt
you know,
me, Carrie?
what
Why?
was it like? Let's see, it was
20.
Vietnam.
It's
We left
25.
Vietnam in '75. I remember.
I know because my daughter was born, so it's 25 years ago.
Wow. See,
Wow. So
just
you
in the
weren't
States.
that
See
far
these young
off.
kids out there. You're a role model to them now. How about that? They see it. You know, got to keep boom, boom, keep punching.
I keep going. What the fuck?
That's
I
nice.
can't stop. Would you ever do anything besides this or no?
Oh, but besides what, this podcast? It's really, it's really like the worst of all worlds. I mean, it's like this observation deck here. Like, there should be. You should hire a few people just to look in on us. I think.
This is a
Like
weird
scientists.
room.
Like.
And he's in that,
And
caption.
here's the optimism of this podcast. Look how many extra seats you have in here. Like, oh my, I can't believe, Carie, we overbooked this time. Both Sklar brothers, what were we thinking? Where will we sit them?
Were they Scar or Sklar?
Sklar!
Sklar brothers. What happened
Wow.
to those two?
Did you? Did
They're
you?
in LA.
Did
I
you
saw them on a TV commercial. I
Oh yeah,
think.
they
you're
did
like
do a...
you're like the openers that I meet. That like it's like, do you remember me? I opened for you 15 years ago. Remember? And I'm like, kinda. I remember. I go, so what are you doing now? And they're like, well, I'm not doing that much comedy. And I'm like, well, what are you doing here? It's like, I'm delivering a package. I go, well, at least you have that motorcycle. They go, it's not my motorcycle. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry.
I mean,
That actually happened to me, those stories.
that is...
Yeah, like when you run into the old openers and stuff like that, because comedy, let's face it, no one ever quits comedy,
Some people
mean-
do quit comedy, though, but I
Did you
don't
tell
know.
your daughter, like, how horrible it is?
I told my daughter that,
Well, but
I mean, she saw how horrible, she saw what happened to me. As a matter of fact, when she went to college, she was a, what do you call that major? Economics major, because she wanted to work at a bank and make a lot of money.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
said, don't you want to get
yeah.
in show business? Because she was
Why
such
would you promote that?
Why did you do that?
Because I had so much joy from, I love, even though I'm not
What
even
is
in show.
wrong with you? She
She's
wanted
an
to be in
idiot.
economics?
She wanted to, yes. But, and she said, Mom, I don't want to make no money like you and Dad. She goes, I'm
Good.
going to make money. And then a year later, after she's in the real world doing a real job, she fucking hated it. And then all of a sudden she goes up once doing 5 minutes and
That
she's
was
like,
it. She's hooked.
this is the best thing I've ever
Wow.
done in my life. And she loves, she does it 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week.
Where? In the city?
The millennials, they have all these little rooms
Yes.
in Queens.
You
and
haven't played any of them yet. You
Brooke-
should do it.
I did one of my daughter's shows. She produced a show. I did QED, or you ever do those shows in Queens? You probably
I've
too
done
big.
The Creek in the Cave.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I've done in Brooklyn. I've done a couple of them, but I definitely feel like I'm way too old for the scene.
I was the oldest person there, and
Right.
Well, you're
everybody
the
else
oldest
was-
person here.
I know.
No, I'm older than you.
No,
right?
no, I'm way
Oh,
older
okay,
than you.
good.
Way older.
Whew.
I,
But I kind of like being the oldest person.
I'm always the oldest person in the comedy club. I'm always like, well, who's da da da, and then I'm always the oldest one.
You know. Here's the thing.
Carie.
Here's the thing. These open mics now, like,
Yeah.
see, if you had moved to LA, they have a whole other level of open mic out there.
What do you
Where
mean?
it's like, it's like at a, like they have one at a sex shop. They have another one at
No, they don't.
at a laundromat. It's almost like the situation itself is the show. It's like, because it's so hard to get on out there. So,
Oh, so they just put up their own
They
shows.
put up their own shows in different places. But the whole idea is like, it almost sounds like a drug deal when you hear it. It's like, okay, you're going to go down, you're going to see a warehouse. All right, you make a right. Then there's going to be a lighthouse. All right, so that's where you check in for your spot. And then you keep going out. We're playing the pier. We're just going to play a deserted pier.
But some
And
of
then
those
you
shows
get
are really
bumped if
funny.
Jay Leno shows up.
Oh God.
Wow, so that's good for your daughter, though. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
she
she's
loves
out there
it.
every night.
Every night, she fucking loves it.
That's great. And
And-
is she working at a bank to pay the bills now?
No, she quit her other job and then got a job as a receptionist because she just wanted to work 9 to 5 so she could leave right at 5. So she got a job
Good for
that
her.
works
I
with
did that
comedy,
myself.
so
Yeah.
that she could go do. What was your day job?
I was a temp, too. I worked in
Oh, okay.
bars, whatever. I was a
Yeah,
waiter.
Yeah, I was a waitress.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's great. And what does Eric think? He
But
must
you
be
were
upset.
also a stripper-grammer.
I was a stripper-grammer too.
Really?
Yes.
See, now, do you have an old picture of you doing that? Because that would be great.
No, I also did
That should be
porn
Barbara.
on the phone. I also did that.
Oh,
which
so
I
look at
know
you
would
acting like
impress
you're.
you.
Yeah.
You must have been horrible at it since you don't know anything about porn. I'm putting the baby hole and your panty. Da-da.
No, as a matter of fact.
I would have fired you
No,
immediately.
you know, I used to you'd make $400 in 1 hour. It was
That's a
like
lot of money in
back
62.
then. Are you shit? 62. No, but we couldn't. In the beginning, when we started, we could go, put your dick in my chooch and my baba.
Wow.
You could say all that, right? You'd be like, and then I'd use my sexy voice, like, and I was young then, and I had a sexy voice then before this happened. And I'd be like, do this and do that, and then I like it, and then you go, and then you had to come, and then they'd have you put your fingers. Did I ever tell you this? You put your fingers in a glass of water, and you'd have to go, sucking on the fingers, so it would sound like a sloppy blowjob. And then,
wow, this is the most interesting part of the podcast.
Yeah, this is right. 'Cause it has to do
you
with
held out all this
and
time.
and I worked with a guy who worked on the thing, and he was also a comic. He was in an improv troupe, and we would like do stupid shit at the end of the what do you call it when they make the phone call at the very end, right when I would. This is so weird. I don't even know. At the very end when I would come, I go and then I go, pull it out, because it would be like in your back door or whatever you said.
Yeah.
Pull it out, and then you go. Which is so stupid. We'd go, look, it's lima bean.
Lima beans.
Sorry. It was like,
Oh, you would yellow the gleam at the end.
how like when you poop and there's
that's
in your ass.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I
well,
love
anyway.
it, Patty.
I don't.
understand.
Okay.
I knew your voice sounded familiar.
I worked for high society.
Yes.
Phone-in calls, and then
400 a week.
400 for one day. You go in
that's
for
awesome.
you do 1 hour, and if you brought scripts. I would write scripts, and then you couldn't use the actual words after a certain
And
point.
why did they go out of business?
Because of the computer.
Job.
Are you kidding?
Well,
because of the computers. Yes, go
I
ahead.
sold magazines over the phone, and I didn't make $400 the entire year I worked there. That's amazing. No one's talking about this in their books. That's a great gig. No one wants to hear my
You
voice.
should have bought a house.
You know what? I actually quit because I felt I'm so Catholic. I felt because I got married, and I thought, well, now that I'm married, I shouldn't be
do
doing
that.
porn.
I didn't know that you were raised that strictly. Were you?
No, but you do go to. I didn't go to Catholic school, but I went to religious and
But
you
you're from
did that,
New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
But
we didn't go to religion anything.
Oh, you
Really?
didn't? Oh, we did that once. Did you? Are you
We never
Catholic?
even
Oh no, you're
went.
Jewish.
I'm
Jewish.
No, I was raised in a very
you had to do
Jewish
that
Irish
whole-
town. So
Are
I know
you
it-
religious?
No, but we went to temple. We did.
Oh, okay.
Jews and all that. But we're not like what I'm thinking you did. You didn't go to Catholic school.
But you had the bar mitzvah and the whole thing.
Yes.
No, but I was confirmed, and I was, all that shit you have done, and we'd go
So
to
what's
church
your real
on
name
Sunday.
then? Patty, Margaret,
Patricia
Colleen,
Ann Bernadette Rossborough.
Wow.
And I picked Bernadette because of the song of Bernadette, because she heard voices and saw visions, and I wanted to hear voices and see visions.
I didn't know you get to pick it. I thought it was like just a lot of ants.
No,
They
for
just
your
throw their names in there.
actual,
Did you ever take the
confirmation.
name?
Oh, you pick a name.
For confirmation, you pick your own.
I
Did
didn't
you
know
ever
that.
take Cornhole's name?
No,
You never did?
no.
Oh, that's cool. So once again, you were a trendsetter.
Yes,
It
I
was
didn't
way
want his
ahead of
last
the whole-
name. Why
So
would I-
your kids, though, they're Cornfelds.
They're
so-
Cornfelds.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
let them do that.
That's cool.
So.
And I'm gonna step up for Eric because he was always a writer too. So
Yes.
he wrote for who did he write for again? Barbra Streisand, right?
Well, actually, he got Barbra Streisand to come on Rosie O'Donnell's show.
Rosie O'Donnell.
So he
show.
wrote
Okay,
for
so he was
Rosie
a ro-
O'Donnell. And
He was a
wrote for-
writer.
And the other girl, the blonde, she was on Sabrina the Teenage Cat. You know that girl?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Her. I forget her
the
name.
chubby one.
The chubby one.
Caroline Wreck.
She was
Caroline
yes,
Ray.
Carol. He wrote for her. He wrote for Bette Midler.
How come he
Also
never
very
wrote
funny.
years?
Carol-
He says he writes for me, but he's written a couple of some jokes for me. But he likes to. He has no interest in.
Is he still
How
writing
you?
now?
He is right. He writes all the time. I don't know who the fuck he's writing for, what he's doing, but
Well, he's probably submitting because that's like,
Yeah.
being it's with the writing world. Unless you become a showrunner, then you're always waiting for the next writing gig. So that's tough,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really tough. And if we lived in LA, like this would be like, we totally understand that.
Well-
Most of your friends became writers anyhow. Bob Shaw. Right?
Bob Shaw was so funny.
What's his name?
Don McLean.
Don.
They
no.
wrote Ants or something.
Yes.
I can't remember. what
You
the
really
fuck
should go to Kevin Brennan's Facebook page. He kind of keeps track of everybody.
He does?
Yeah.
He knows everybody.
He does. especially out in L.A. He's really up on
That's
the.
because he doesn't have a job during the day and he just sits
Yeah,
there
no,
and
he's
does
bitter.
shit
He's
all,
bitter.
all day long on the fucking Facebook. Which
Wow, this is really kicking at this crowd. Who's going to blink first, the crowd or the comic? We don't know. Anyway, thanks again for having me.
wait! Before you go, can I just ask one last quick thing? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, we got the funniest fucking.
Thank you again, Carrie. You're always so.
And then-
Carie is so
This is
generous.
No, honey, but what if I win big? I would have to split it with you guys.
See,
so.
that's
When
why
you
he's
win
so
big,
nice.
Just
You-
take it.
That's the thing.
Okay, here's my question. This is my Rona Barrett question. Okay, you're the funniest guy around. Explain your. Okay, you're writing. Okay, you need 5 new minutes of material. What do you have a notebook? Do you just wing it? Do you write shit out? Like, how do you come up? How do you do it? Like, this is like the
I
annoying
used to
person on the
say-
bus.
Here's what Dave would do. Back in the day, when we
All right.
hung out,
All right.
he'd have a little notebook. It was this big,
Yes.
like a cell phone.
Okay.
It'd be in his back pocket with a
Yeah.
pen. And then all of a sudden, we'd all be hanging out. And all of a sudden, and then he'd put it back in his
Yeah.
pocket.
I was a big conversation stealer. No, no. I think that the beauty of the comedy is that you can work on something that you've been thinking about that day, like that hour, that second before you go on stage, bring that on stage, and then because I can do a lot of stage time, so I'm kind of lucky. But for the younger guys, the working all day, I used to do that too. My thing that when they always ask me like, what about jokes and all kinds of stuff, my thing is that like jokes to me are like, I love jokes, and I love like somebody who can write a good joke, clean, better than dirty, but dirty is easy, but a good, dirty joke never hurts anybody, so that's good. But the problem is nowadays is that the audience itself, I don't think that they're really into it as much as I am.
What, jokes?
Yeah, I think they want more like a personal story. Or like, your experience in the world.
It almost seems like the style today is more storytelling than set-up punch, right?
But
Or
isn't
no?
it more of going kind of almost back to
I
like
love
the
a setup
70s
punch.
coffee house kind of like, experience thing?
What do you mean? Like now it's like
Yeah,
that?
like I feel like it's kind of going back to this whole thing of like, like just like this is my tale, kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh, telling your story, you mean?
Yeah, but what I like when you talk about my thing is that you got to work on it every day, whether you're on stage or off stage. But you should be always thinking about it, and that's what I do. I always want to like come up with a new joke. Like that's the obsession, is the new joke. So getting the stage time to me is really important. Listening to the act is good, which is I don't do as much as I used to.
Oh, you tape yourself?
Yeah, you tape yourself and you listen to it, then you can fix the joke. And I've said it to like a lot of these younger guys that
wouldn't
like
think
that's the hardest part of it, because then you hear yourself bomb over and over. Or you hear like
There's no
just
way
like,
you bomb at this point, right?
No, I think I bomb 50-50. I think I really do, and I consider it a bomb unless I have a new joke, because I'm not here to waste stage time. These younger guys, ladies, they all want to go on stage.
Right.
So for me to go up there and do like the 10 jokes I know are going to work, that's a mistake. Like what I like about Carie and like we're Long Island people is that like whether we liked it or not, we had to learn how to deal with a bad crowd.
Right.
We were not necessarily in a like today's friendly environment of comedy.
Long
You
Island
had
was
to
rough
earn it.
crowds.
You had to
Yeah, it
earn
used
it,
to be. Yeah.
and you had to hold the ground. And it's difficult for everybody. Carie did it like a pro, and like that to me is another part of the business that no longer is really as important as it is now, because the crowds are more behaved. I don't think they're necessarily as wild and funny as they should be, but they've definitely behaved. So like you'll see almost like a groaning, like almost like a waves of groans coming at you because of what you're
But
talking
no
about.
one would crack your head open with a chair.
Yeah, like it's very rare that someone's gonna.
Jeff Zabrowski used to get his ass kicked all the time.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
God,
a lot
Jeff
of.
Zabrowski.
The best show is usually outside the club.
So you think about it every day. You write every day, and you.
I don't
go up
write
on-
every day, but I definitely am working on jokes, something.
And
yeah.
you'll go up on stage with just an idea that's on
Yes,
a pad.
that's
and,
balls.
and
That's what I like to do.
That is fucking balls.
I like to do it.
But then, does it ever get super quiet when you do that?
Yeah,
and it
it's
doesn't.
called bombing. You don't have to
Daddy,
call it
you
super
said it.
quiet. It's called not doing your job. I'm bombing. I'm not entertaining the crowd.
But will you do that when you have like a real gig, or you do that anytime? Like, in other words,
Are
do
you
it
trying
just
to book
in...
me at some kind of party? Are you booking me at the Pumpkin
I'm
Patch
trying to
Festival?
Figure this out. But like when you're in the city, I understand you would just throw shit in there and see what. But if you're doing a gig and you're getting paid the
You know
big
what?
David
That's
Tell
a
money,
very good
Governors.
question. I am not that professional, because even on the road where I should have it all together, I'm still
You'll
working
try
on
new shit.
Like
That's
I
good,
feel
though.
I feel like that's what keeps me doing it. It's like keeps it interesting. But for the younger comics, like I feel for them almost, because they're in this hyper intense world of like with Facebook and all that kind of stuff, like they know each other already, like all over the country. They know who's doing what and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Whereas for us, we had like our little scene, and there was like some people were better, some people were worse, and like we kind of like just like throttled up that way, getting better and better and better. And I'll say one thing is that like my performance is not that good. My joke writing is way better than my performance now because I didn't value it. I didn't value it as much. No, it'll go up. It'll go up harder, like when I really try and stuff like that. But I feel sorry for these younger kids because they really are like they have this weird like unless they start out where they're like getting an audition for SNL, they feel like they're failures. It's not. It takes years. You should tell your daughter.
Yeah. No, she knows.
It takes years to realize that you should go to finance school. She was way ahead of the game.
Right.
Well, thank you again for having.
All right. Well, thanks
for coming.
Well, how long is this podcast?
Well, as long as until you want to stop.
Wow.
How long have we been doing it? 9:30.
We have a legend here.
It's been an hour.
That's
Over an hour.
plenty.
Over an hour.
Over an hour. Did you
That's-
see that polite? We're done. We're done.
Wait, one last thing, and then I swear I'll let you go. Lorne Michaels,
Yes.
douchebag or not a douchebag?
I met him 3 times.
Oh,
and-
really? You didn't know him when you were working in Center Live?
No, more importantly, he didn't know me, and I was working there. That was the best part.
So he is a douchebag.
Dave. I'm like, yes.
Come on.
No,
How
he's
did he not know you?
He's not a.
Friendly?
No, if you're trying to get dirt from me, I don't really.
No, it's not. I'm just curious
do
because
that.
every time I see him, he just seems so like pompous.
I would say for a guy who's franchised a thing and helped build careers, I guess there's more in the good bank than the bad bank. But
Right.
in terms of like cutting edge of what they originally started to do, I'd say that's pretty empty. That side of it of like pushing the limit and whoa, you're not allowed to say it. Really, it was like SNL was the leader for a long time. It was like George Carlin, Richard Pryor, SNL. Those were the leaders of like the irreverence of comedy, and now. I'd say SNL is not there. I'd say it's cool to, the parodies and the sarcasm and stuff like that. But that was never my thing, and I was only there a year, and I told this to pretty much every podcast, is that, like, I wanted to be Bill Hicks. I never wanted to be on a sitcom or a sketch show or anything like that. And luckily, I'm a horrible actor, so there really was never any of that. But I'm such a great actor, I can't not be in it. No, it's like, no.
Right.
You're the one that kind of hooked up Kevin Hart, right? You got him.
I didn't hook him up. Right?
No,
That guy was going to make it.
You introduced him to Dave Becky,
yes,
right?
I did. But I said to Dave Becky, this guy is the complete package, and he really is the complete package. Now, do you know about Kevin Hart yet?
I know Kevin Hart. I think he's very fun. I saw him live at the Borgata.
Whoa,
I was one of
what
3
year was
white
this?
people. One of 3 white people in the audience.
Is this another story that you're not telling us? I used to be a slumlord in Atlantic City when I wasn't doing my phone sex job. Patty, you're mysterious.
You really are.
Patty, Burnett, Colleen, white bread mayonnaise, shoes on one.
I just had to pay my rent. That's all. That's why
cool.
I went to
See,
it.
those jobs are gone now. Those
They're
kids
gone.
now they all they have is coding. That's everybody's dream. Coding.
What's a coding?
Coding is where you like computers, like where you're supposed
Oh.
to. Like if you can learn how to do that, then you're kind of guaranteed survival
really?
in this country. What do you talk to your children about?
Patty can't even manage her phone.
I don't know how to work my phone. I don't know how to work Netflix. I would have watched your Netflix special if I could figure out how to use
Just
Netflix.
type bitter into the computer and it'll pop up.
You know what? I watched your show. What's that?
Hulu? Oh.
No, On the Road. What's that On the Road show you did?
Insomniac.
No, the other one. Road
know what I
on the Road.
Oh, Road Work. That's
Road
my
Wo-
special.
Oh, okay. You're in a million different places.
3, actually 4. Go
4,
ahead.
okay. And me and Kevin are watching. They're like, I don't know how long they are. Half an hour? Well, I don't know how long they are. But I'm thinking, how much fucking material does this guy have? Because it's different
Yeah.
every show.
That's
Wait,
right.
can I tell you what I used
So
to
much
do
fucking
when I was
material.
dating?
Yeah.
Every time I dated a guy, I would take Dave's CD, DVD, or whatever CD, and I put it in my car, and I would see if he would laugh.
All right, it was your
And if
litmus test.
And the fucking guy didn't laugh. I was like, all right, this is our last date. He's like, I don't get it. I'm like, okay, get out!
Get out. I'm going to do these here,
And
so I'll look
I
you know the
gotta
results.
tell
Yeah,
you,
let's see if we're
My
millionaires.
husband laughed at your entire.
He's a good guy, your husband. He really is. And I'm not saying because he likes my stuff.
My
He's a good guy.
my fiance also thinks you're hysterical.
And is he also in show business? He's like a
no,
musician.
no computers.
Oh, see, that's the thing. And that's cool for
He's
your
like a
children
guy
to see.
guy.
They've been
He's a regular
fiancéed
man.
for 15 years.
God bless Patty. You
Yes.
deserve it. And what about your what about the house situation up there? You said it's a fixer-upper?
No, it's his house.
Oh, it's his
It's
house.
his house.
his
because
house.
He won't marry her.
And what is he living
it
in
to
there?
become
What-
her
what-
house.
What is he like it up there? Like, is there running water and stuff?
Because we live on a lake. It's a beautiful lake.
And he loves to fish.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, good. Likes to
Why do you
think.
live on a
He likes
lake?
to think.
He's building a
poet.
deck now. No,
Oh.
he's like one of these
Norman.
build.
That's the problem with being comics. We always go for the. We really are sarcastic, so it's really hard to enjoy the moment. Like that would be almost the worst thing for me.
Being on a lake?
Yeah, house by a lake. There are too many thoughts.
Oh,
Well,
I have OCD thoughts, so that's the worst kind of thoughts because
So
you
you
can't
must
get
really
rid of
like
them.
him. You must really like him. To be up
Well,
there
you
on the
know,
lake.
when he said let's move in here together, I tried to talk him out of it and move somewhere else.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't go because he had built half the house, so he didn't
Oh,
want to leave.
he's handy.
He's attached.
He's very
Oh,
handy.
good for you.
You know.
Attached to it.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so,
But we may move now. I don't know.
I don't
see.
think you're going to move. I mean,
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe he's just lying.
Patty, how about marriage first?
yeah.
Before moving?
Maybe you
Yeah.
could build an altar and marry you there.
On the lake.
That sounds like a brilliant idea.
Maybe he could take his tool belt off for a second and marry you. See, now I like that he's like a man.
He's
like
a man.
Good with his hands. and
Big
all that kind of stuff.
hands. He's Irish. He's got the strong
There you go.
hands. He's building a deck. He poured however many pounds of fucking cement and put the
Wow.
thing in the thing. And
You're always worried he might be gay. Is that what it is? He's got to
You
have
know
like
what?
3 man
That's
jobs.
the thing.
When he's not doing that, he's hunting. He's out there hunting, killing it, eating it, skinning it.
He is the
If
opposite.
I catch him ever humming a tune, I'm out the door.
Oh my God. He was in plays, Eric. She would go see him.
Yeah, Eric is a talented guy.
Yeah, he was in
He
play.
was in Broadway
Eric was like the
shows.
New York talented, like that kind of Lower East Side kind of talent.
He writes musicals, Eric.
Yeah.
See, Kevin can't even sit through a musical. He won't sit through. He hates musicals.
And
He
what did
hates
your parents
plays.
think when you married Eric? Because he's Jewish. Right?
Everybody knew. Everyone
That must have been
said it,
really
right?
tough.
Everyone knew.
Yeah, evidently they knew. My mother said, well, what are you doing that for? You don't even get along with him. And
Really?
that was a good point. And then my younger sister said, after I broke up with him, she said, oh, yeah. She goes, I mean, of course, we knew he was gay. And
Really?
I go,
Oh, yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I go, why didn't you tell me? She goes, I didn't want to ruin your special day. So I ruined my life.
Look,
I
if
mean,
my husband would have been crying while I was coming up the aisle, I would have been like, all right, this.
Yeah, but I thought that's like a man emotional, like he's very emotional. Isn't that whatchamacallit? Isn't that acceptable behavior for men now? Isn't that what you wanted?
No.
no, I don't want a man who cries. I've never seen Kevin
No.
cry once. I don't want to see a guy cry.
You
Do
mean
you
your
cry?
new guy? Your
Do you
new guy
cry?
wouldn't he cry like when you
No,
take him to
never.
Home Depot? He sees the price of primer paint. Can you believe this? Being a manly man as I am.
Do you cry, Dave?
Do you cry? I don't picture you
No, I
crying.
never cry.
Never?
You've never
I
cried.
wheeze, which is more frightening. I'm a wheezer. Carrie,
never
you better
cried?
double check these because
Come on, Dave,
I
you
thought we
know
would
what,
do a win
anything-
because this is like a weird
Maybe
situation.
you need these.
No, it's just
There's
too many
no win
numbers
on
for
the
my-
two.
Nothing.
These
Hold
were
on.
Carrie, this is really those are big tickets.
those were expensive. You know, Carrie's very generous.
Carrie is very cool. I'm going to back it up now with my own tickets to Carrie.
$30 tickets.
Because I give
Carrie.
my mom and dad, my dad, he would love, I'd bring him in the hospital, I'd bring in all the scratch-off games, and we would have that, we would do that together.
Oh, your dad likes
That was our
scratch-offs?
thing. Yes. And he's dead now.
Check
but
that one, Patty.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You were close with your dad?
Yes,
Yep.
I was.
He was military? Was he
He
military?
was in the Navy, but not
Navy.
like 20-year Navy. Just, just fulfilled his obligations to this nation.
Oh, okay.
All right. Maybe you didn't hear about that while you were with the Weather Underground in the 70s. when you and Eric were protesting, when you were saving whales somewhere.
So
my
close,
dad was.
Dave.
You know, they always make it like it's close. When it's 16, it's a 61. There was
Look,
they
you have
try
Yeah,
to
Carrie,
32.
do one,
You
and
have
you do one.
They try.
32.
Oh, thank
And
Then
you.
let's
he's
get out of here.
33.
And then let's get out of here. Okay, we're gonna
Less
see.
is more is what they should not call this podcast. Let's keep going. Let's keep going till we see them put up the chairs in the actual comedy club. And then 2 realtors come in and go, we're going to turn it into a Staples.
All right, let me. Do you have a quarter? You got a
Move
quarter?
it along,
Wait, wait.
ladies.
All right, hold
Shit,
on.
wait, we're gonna see. This is called Lucky Sevens.
Yeah.
Let's see what the price. How does this fucking?
I
thing-
won already.
Oh, good, Carrie.
How did you get it? I
She's got a double. She's got a double win. Look,
What are you
she's looking at
using
a double
to?
win.
You got a coin, Dave?
Hold on a second.
$4.
Boom, Carrie, nice.
the fuck out, you
So
got
now you gotta
$4?
buy 4 tickets.
Of
That's how it works.
Prize.
Gotta buy 4
My
tickets.
prize is $1. What the fuck does that mean?
There
That
you
means
go.
you might have won.
That means this podcast is more successful than it has
No,
been. in
you
the
won
beginning.
$2, Patty.
Whoa!
The double.
Baba, baba,
What are you
baba.
talking about?
See,
$2.
I should have bought the dollar one.
Yeah, no, I love these too. where
Wait,
you're
did I
like,
win
whoa.
something?
Yes.
Yes.
You won $2. She doesn't know.
I don't understand.
That's what it is when you live in Mayberry and there are no lottery
I don't fucking
tickets.
understand how I won.
No, now
but-
you go to a bodega or deli and you get 2 tickets. You go, hey, I won.
Oh, it looks like I only won $1 though.
But that's double.
That's double.
Oh.
Double. Yeah, these are the easiest
Oh,
ones in the game.
double. Oh,
Yeah.
I get it.
I wish
Thank
my mom
you,
was here.
Dave.
She would totally tell you what to do.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Dave,
It's good.
Thanks
I'm
for
so glad.
Thanks for on a high
coming.
note.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank
You're
you,
the
guys.
best.
Hey, what's the name of the podcast?
Chick Chat Comedy Podcast.
Let me ask you something.
Chick Chat Comedy
Where are you gonna
Podcast.
be?
Thanks for having
Where
me.
are you going to be this coming up?
Thank you, Carrie.
Oh yeah, where are you gonna be?
Well, you can always go to davidattell.com to see all my dates. But the next one coming up, I think, is D.C. in mid-October.
Very nice.
And then I might be looking at jury duty. I'm not exactly sure, but thank you,
I never
Chick
answer
Chat.
that letter.
What? You
the
don't?
jury duty. I throw it in the garbage.
What
Well, you're
the
gonna, you
hell?
can't.
You're a great juror.
20 years I've been doing it.
Wow.
Dumping them right in the garbage.
Where are you this weekend, Carie?
You really are your dad's daughter. First they get you for the jury duty. The next thing you know, you're fighting against the... Her dad was talk about a man.
Oh yeah,
He
you
was
know
like-
him because you used to
yes.
go to the bar.
He was like 5
He was a
men in
man's
one
man.
pair of pants.
She said he used to get in
Yeah.
fist fights with people.
Fist
at the bar.
fight, like not even a fight, like he choked the guy to death. He just grabbed him like, you, no one asked for towels. But it was all restaurant, shit.
That's why Carrie's so strong.
Carrie is,
Yes.
she is very
Yeah.
strong.
Wait, Carrie, hurry up. He's leaving. You got to say where you're going to be.
I'm going to be at Gyrolicious. Where
Oh,
the
all
fuck
right.
am I going to be, Patty?
Gyrolicious, that's your club. That's your.
I sold it.
Oh, you did.
I'm out.
Nice.
And then I'll be back in the city.
Oh, cool.
All right, I'm going to be. I wish I knew where I was going to be.
Let's look at your old.
It's for Jeff. Jeff.
Look at how big the book is.
Let's-
Jeff Norris is having a benefit for animals in New Jersey.
Oh.
So look up
See?
Jeff
You weren't
Norris's website, and you'll see exactly where it is because I don't have it written
That's the
down.
best way to promote with just half the information, like it's a hunt.
But or go on my Facebook page. It's posted today
There
where
you
it is.
go.
Okay, and then
Patty,
I'll be at
thank you.
Rockwell's Thursday with Marla Schultz Thursday, and then the next Saturday West Islip
Are
Firehouse.
you going to do the whole month?
Firehouse?
Then,
No, just
Firehouse in West Iceland.
I don't know
We're in
where.
a blanket.
Oh, I'm gonna
What
go
happened to
find
me?
you.
Oh, you will? All right.
great.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
And subscribe.
Ladies, you're the best.
Bye.